Hello, welcome back everybody. Just going to run through the usual test. Sound checking. Hello, welcome back everybody. Just going to run through the Let's get things set up. Where are we at? Let's get rid of all the PC warnings that we get. Antivirus software that works. Okie dokie, I think everything's in order, so hi people, welcome back. If you're joining again from the future on this recording, then thanks for coming back to watch. Hopefully you'll find this useful. Today we're carrying on with the Astro.js build for my personal site that I'm going to be set up for a newsletter and all that stuff. So today, following on from last week, we're going to be finishing off the scaffolding for the header, footer, and the different layouts, and kind of creating a better base for the website to sort of function, and to just for it to be able to scale better with different layouts and not having a lot of copy paste going in and stuff. So we've got this at the minute, and basically what we're going to try and cover today is extracting these sort of reusable parts with like header, footer, and any other parts of like the layout, like any of the meta information like that goes into the head, the favicon section, all that sort of stuff. Like if we can pull that out into something as a reusable component, like a meta head tag or something like that, then we're going to be able to do that. And yeah, that's probably what we'll get through to. Hopefully we'll get through that today, and maybe we get into fleshing out some of the page sections, like the I think we had a page template for about now, and we put a basic thing together for the home page. So yeah, what I want to try and get through today is components for header, footer, and better extensions for the layouts, so that it's not as much copy and paste going on. And once that's done, I think then we'll be able to move on to some basic styling and kind of getting some basic layout on the page, and we'll do that from responsive perspectives, like from mobile upwards and stuff as well. So yeah, without further ado, just have a look at the checklist, what we got. Yeah, so we're just going to mainly focus on the scaffolding, and if we get round to it, we might get into setting up the theme for Tailwind, refactor it, and maybe start putting together some sort of like basic structuring with Tailwind, and maybe some templates to put it together. Okay, so what we got to last time, we didn't get into this section with the reusable, what do you call it? with the social links. So let's have a quick look at that. So I think social links, they put into there, weren't they? So they were just as a constant. So try to put them as like site config, but it didn't really seem to make sense or work out. So that's fine. We can just bring this in here. So if we import this constant, and I forget, what do we call it? Socials. Do we export it? Yep, we did. From that, figures out what we need. That's good. So I think I'm still getting used to Astro.js. So I'm pretty sure from the off we can just do it straight into here. So socials.map. I want to map over this for each social. We're going to return a li element with social.platform. That's going to be inside an A tag. Whoops. And just see if that works. Got the server running, so let's give it a second. Yep, it did. Cool, bingo. Right, so very, very basic stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to create the most simple components first before we get into more advanced things to be extracting. Like this whole head section is kind of copied between all the pages, so it doesn't really make sense for that to be the case. And some things I think we might need to make stuff like dynamic per page for the component stuff, so like the title, but that's not going to be too tricky. But let's start with something very, very simple with the header and footer. So a quick look at the documentation page for Astro.js. It's always important to read the docs and fully understand what it is that you're using, and like its limitations or potential limitations. So let's have a quick look. Yeah, so common meta tags for SEO to work with. Yeah, we're going to do that at some point. Component structure. So it's the same. It's the same as any file that gets passed in Astro.js with the .astro. You get this YAML part, and then you get the output with the HTML and stuff where you can. This is where you can handle things like handle things server side or anything like that you want to do at build time, and then the output of that. You're using the output of that in there. So okay. I mean, I don't think there's anything, ridiculous that we need to sort of know, like name slots and stuff like that we're not going to use. So let's just keep it simple for now. So we're going to create a footer. Component, so let's create that. So footer.astro. So we're going to have a YAML front matter section, like that. So we're just going to lift and shift this from there to there. You don't need any sort of export on this by the looks of it. That's base layout, wrapper, stock to, yeah, you don't, it exports that. So when you use it somewhere else, footer Astro. Yeah, okay. I'm guessing the name of the file becomes the name of the export, so that's fine. So then oh, typing is not on today. Come on. There we go. Footer. Easy squeezy. Let me just check that I haven't broken anything. Shouldn't have. Nope, it's all still there, so I imagine it's working. So if we delete it, then it's gone. Keep shooting to the bottom. Yep, then it's gone, so that's fine. So put that back in. I'm going to do the same with the header. There might be something we update style-wise with the header later, because we might want to do things like highlight which section, which section is actually, clicked, depending on what route you're on. Components / header. That's where it's going to go anyway, so do that. New file, header, Astro, Astro. And I wonder if you can actually use that without any YAML front matter whatsoever. You can just put it like that. Yeah, apparently that's valid as well. So we don't need anything dynamic in here stuff at the minute, so we don't need to put any YAML front matter. Okay. So then I guess in terms of this last part, I want to extract this really. And this becomes we're going to have, it's just the analytics, isn't it? So it's I'm just going to put GTM wrapper, or I'm just going to put Google tag manager, because it's not going to be anything more than that, basically. Google tag manager. Oops. Rename that and put .astro on it. Bang that in. That's been complaining at me the whole time, but there doesn't seem to be a types package for this, so I don't like doing it, but we expect an error there, so we just quiet it down now so it doesn't complain all day long. So we import here, Google tag manager. from components slash Google Tag Manager like that. Easy peasy. I can't remember if it is called description. What's the thing? Meta tag description. Might not be called that anymore. Sorry, reject all. Oh, name, right. Oh, actually, we might already have that covered with the... It's content, wasn't it? Double check that again. Content, yeah. So I think we'll just create a component called meta tags. And this can evolve as needed. So if there's any reason that we need to have, yeah, like more stuff coming in or, you know, or whatnot, then we'll add it as needed. Let's have a look how, I don't remember how components take props. Oh, it's the same basically, right, okay. So they're just going to be passed down. What I'll do is I'll copy that. Like that. And what we'll use is, we'll change this, we'll call this unless you can't change that. I don't know if the naming for that is special in some way. The description, title, oops, not like that, title. I don't know if we can do 2 imports, but we'll find out now. Import, and then we'll have from components slash meta tags. I'm going to import props and props. I don't know if it'll quite work like that, but yeah, I don't think it'll work to all those export. Let's see if there's any way we can use. Might have to Google this one. That's it. So Astro.js TypeScript page props. It'd be nice if we didn't have to have the same props. Yeah, like type thingy in a few places. So component props. So look at that. Add a TypeScript props interface to your component front matter and export. Statement may be used, but is not necessary. Common group, common prop type parameters. If your component takes no props or slotted content, you can use that. Okay. If your component must be passed children. Okay. It's basically it for us. So using the component props type that's given by Astro. That we use type you know, it might not be the hassle of doing this just yet. Seems a little bit overkill for what it is, so I'll leave it for now. It's not a lot of copy and paste, so and just check everything is still working dandy. Check the header input first. Yeah. No description, that's fine. We'll add that. Title given, yep. Okay. All that stuff. Tailwind. Okay. Be easy. So that's one layout with all these sections put into it. But I am hoping that we don't have to have. So this is the thing, really. This is so we're going to replace these sections, and it's not kind of going to reduce the. Yeah. How different are these layouts actually? So there's only very, very small differences at the minute. Like that's not even different at all. There's only the page layout actually that takes any use of sort of differing. So I wonder whether it's actually any point at all having all these separate layouts. Whether just to consolidate them. Because even this for the page layout that is different. Yeah. Yeah, because we're handling most of this the page content in the not in the layout, but in the actual like page template. So let's have a look for layouts / let's not delete them just yet, but I'll mark them for sort of, yeah. Well, first let's update the page one, because we know that we need to do that one. Let's just get rid of that. And I'll put the body part in the new section we updated. So we need that part, or that part. We need this part. Okay. So that's shortened it up a little bit. Broken these down so we can just use them independently. And we'll come back to styling and whatnot at a later point. Yeah, that bit done. So let me just go replace the sections that aren't using these ones. So this one just wants to be layout. This one wants to be layout. Come back to these TypeScript issues soon. There's something happening between when we get the collection data and then when we're mapping through it, sort of not understanding what the entry is meant to be. If I take that off, is that what part of the confusion? Yeah, sort of is. Why do we do that? There's not really any need there, so let's take that off. Is that a lot more happy? Yeah, it's a lot more happy, so probably just that. Right, we can, while we're at it, we can fix that for the other one as well. It's probably the same issue. We don't need none of that because we're going into it from that point. And that solves our issues. Cool. Sometimes just take a little bit of time, figure out what's going on. Okay. So let's commit all that. I'm gonna get a new, oops, terminal, wrong one. So yeah, just creating new things, tidying up layout, page, these two errors. So we're gonna add it all. So creating some basic components for to reduce copy and paste. Also fixing type issues with collections. I think best practice, probably best for these to go in is 2 separate commits, but it's okay for me. Only one working on this, so that'll do me. Okay. So we'll review this because what we'll do next is, I think that was kind of all the copy and paste, tidy up I wanted to kind of do. There isn't a lot of complexity in this yet, so there's no point making it complex for the sake of it. It's probably just fine to just keep things as they are. And I guess what we'll get onto next, let me just have a look at over here again. Oh, one thing I forgot actually was to put the home and sitemap links in. Could probably do that. Oh, so we had this, so it was going to be, that's going to be this side, wasn't it? So let's add that. H3. So we'll put this as a to do. So to do content. So we don't forget about it. Benefit position. And then this will just be the to do beehive. I think it's double I via beehive embed. And that's one part of the section of the footer. So have that as the sort of main section. I'll have another section that will be below it, which will be very basic. I'm not sure how to do multi-cursor with. Oh, there you go. Oh, right. Tab slash put home. I'll put sitemap and meta tag, well, that would be sitemap.xml. So missed the final footer. Oh, it's always doing this from here. Keep. Needs to out source control for VS Code. Why it keeps doing that, but anyway, ain't the end of the world. Okay. So I think with that in place, we're quite happy. Just review it quickly. So nothing really happened here. I'm not sure what that was. Just a formatting thing. Create a footer component. Easy as you like. Google Tag Manager. So this just encapsulates the script. Needs to be put on the page of each page. Header section for header component for navigation. Meta tags. So just common SEO things, and I'm pretty sure we'll update this because we'll probably get a better favicon setup, and we'll probably update this for socials as well. So there's probably a whole bunch of social meta tags missing for it to look nice when you share it, stuff like that. So we'll add those when we go through. Constants, so that's just the addition, just somewhere to put in config like all the list of like social links in case it's used in other places like share buttons and stuff like that. We've got one set of URLs we need to update if we ever change username and stuff, so that's good. Simplifying the layout with the reusable components and page, and then we said the slug based pages like newsletter and project are going to use the plain layout because there's no reason for them to use an individual layout file because they don't differ enough to warrant it. It's happy, so we'll review. I can't review my own PRs, obviously. That's fine. Oh, is it because it's not ready? So merge, delete branch. Off it goes. And back to clean slate. So yeah, check out master. Cool. Okay, let's see this. Nothing. Cool. So we'll create another branch again. I feel like we'll whiz through quite a bit tonight if we're lucky. So what do we say next? So we got these in place. Let me just check that we have sort of like a bit of a home page. So index. Yeah, we've got some very, very, very basic content in there, so that's fine. That's the thing of itself, so that's okay. So I think now we will start getting into the juicy parts of actually making this thing look like something, which would be one heck of a thing to do. So I haven't worked with Tailwind much before, so this is going to be a good furore. So it's going to be a whole branch of making. I don't think we're going to do it in one sweep. We're going to kind of create some sensible sort of like. We'll set up TypeScript. We'll set up Tailwind config, but we'll for like theming and colors and stuff like that. We'll do all that. But in terms of actually theming and setting up the actual like styles and stuff for the page, I'll keep it very basic to start with, just get a very, very clean output. And then if we want to add sort of like any flair and like, kind of some use of color and stuff like that, we'll add that in afterwards. We'll just get very, very basic like things set up so it's not just a big one page mess to look at. And we'll start by doing this. Pixel 7, which is the phone that I've got. So I'll test it from this device perspective to start with. So So I think let's call this like base styles. Let's push that so the thing's got wind of it. And yeah, like I said, not used tailwind much before, so let's drum this up from the beginning. Tailwind CSS. Because we've got everything installed, we must have a tailwind config. We do. So let's have a look at config. So it gets started. We've gone through all the installation process. Yeah, I'm kind of aware of utility first fundamentals and not as clued up on things like hover states, how like Tailwind hovers that. Reusing styles is more about creating classes that encapsulate like a bunch of other classes. I don't think we really get into that. We might do. Yeah, so loops help solve that a little bit. So that's more creating a template for it so that the styles encapsulate in the template, but you still have all the classes added individually, which is fine. And then custom CSS, so this is where, right, yeah. So we're not going to kind of get, I don't want to get into stuff like that because it just takes away from the abstraction too much, I feel like. So we're not going to have examples complicated enough to warrant it. Dark mode, I do want to have a look at this a little bit because I do want to have a dark mode of it. So if you want to support toggling dark modes, manually select, instead of relying on operating system preference, use selector strategy instead of media strategy. Selector strategy replaces clash strategy in Tailwind. Let me just read this actually from the top. So using Tailwind CSS to style your site in dark mode. Now that dark mode is a first class feature of many operating systems, it's become more and more common to design a dark version of your website to go along with the default design. To make this easy as possible, Tailwind includes a dark variant that lets you style your site differently when dark mode is enabled. That's good. Yeah, that's cool. So by default, this uses prefer color scheme CSS media feature, but you can also build sites to support toggling dark mode manually with selector strategy. Selector strategy. Yeah, it's just jumping me to that section, which is literally just the next bit. So toggling dark mode manually. If you want to support toggling dark mode manually instead of relying on operating system preference, use selector strategy instead of media strategy. I will do so. So we'll add that. Now instead of dark classes being applied on a preferred color scheme, they'll be applied whenever dark class is presented early in the HTML tree. Okay. That's pretty easy. Just a HTML tag. Just a class to the HTML tag at the very, very top. So it's got dark. Dark will be applied to these ones. If you prefix your Tailwind config, make sure to add the dark class. For example, if you prefix TW, you'll need to use TW-dark class to enable dark mode. Let's have a look at the layout. We don't have anything like that at the minute, so that's fine. How you add dark class to HTML is up to you. Yep, so that's fine. On page loader, when changing themes, best to add inline in the head to avoid flash of unstyled content. Been a while since I've seen that. So local storage, if the local storage theme is dark and oh, that's a bit confusing. Hold on. Local storage theme is dark or not, or if there's not theme in the local storage and the window match media prefers color scheme dark, then it adds the class, else it removes the class. Whenever you use explicitly, choose the light mode. Yeah. Yeah. We'll come back to that. It's not necessary for now, but it's nice to have. Come back to responsive design as well. I think I've got the tailwind stuff. Let me just check. Yep, got tailwind IntelliSense. Go back to config. I can't remember if this is already set up with prefixes. Let me just check. Tailwind. No, doesn't look like it, so I think we'll just use this. I think we'll just keep it as this for now. We'll complicate setup. What we do is when we come to sort of launch it, we'll look at any production based config that we could do with changing to make things more performant. We'll come to that. So this will probably be handled for us by V. Sorry, not V. Astro. So that's fine. Have a look at concepts of utility first fundamentals. So I already know this. So all classes that are just basically just referring to CSS properties through shortening of things. So things like padding, max width. Well, that'll be like max width based on some like config variables. So like there'll be like small widths, wide widths, whatever we sort of like configure, and it'll be like they'll have different classes for like small, large, whatever we sort of configure to be this little prefix suffix. Then margin, that's like margin on the x-axis, so like margin left and right. Background, border radius, that'll be box shadow, flex, display type, item center, that's just a that'll be a class for flex, and so on and so forth and stuff. It just goes down like that. So a lot of learning Tailwind is just learning what are you translating from CSS to Tailwind classes, basically. So it's not a great leap. It's just a different way of thinking. So it's just getting used to what the classes are called. Yeah, so it's good. So it means like responsively, you can apply styles based on viewports and stuff. So like when it's small, add these and these and these and stuff like that. When it's hovered, you can have, you know, different classes basically maintained and stuff as well. We already talked about maintainability. I'm not too bothered about this. I think I'll jump to configuration, because what I want to see is I want to see basically setting up our theme. So configuration is bespoke to every user interface. We get Tailwind config.js. We've got an MJS because ESM modules. So we already got this set up. So we've got a file. We've got the base. We've identified which content needs to like be included with a Tailwind. We're saying the dark mode we want is a selector theme. We don't have yet. We don't have any plugins. So yeah, ESM or TypeScript, that's fine. Content section is where you configure all the paths of your HTML templates and JS components. Okay, we already did that. Yeah, it's everything in source folder, so we don't need any more on that. Theme, so theme sections where you define your color palettes, fonts, type scale, border sizes, breakpoints, anything related to visual design of your site. So we will keep things very, very simple to start with. There's presets. But we don't want to take a preset. So this is being able to disable features through Tailwind that you know you're not going to use. So you can just rip them out at the configuration level. So they're not accessible either. TypeScript types. That's fine, we've already got that. So let's jump to theme. So there's a default theme, so yeah. Let's have a look at what we want to do is we want to override colors and what was that section there? Screens. I don't think screens would be a problem for now. Like we might adjust them as we go, as we start styling more things. But let's have a look. No thing for screens. Oh, why did it not show up there? Oh well. Screens, so out of the box are 640s. They're reasonable as well. So that's the only thing we might want to change is colors for now. Colors and font family. So colors and font family. Oops, getting lost here. Yeah, I don't think we need a lot more than that at the minute. We'll come back to these if we feel like we need other things as well. Have a look at presets. Nah, we're okay. We don't need this. Yeah, this is getting into more. Yeah, that's not actually using it. Yep, okay, so we already had these laid out last time. So colors. Let me bring up the. I'll get saved as a bookmark. Yes, I do. So I like that it gives you these names for it. So, oops. So what are they called? Candy apple red, safety orange, amber. These so candy apple red. It's going to be. Wait, do they have X? They did have X. So then. Let's copy that. Safety orange. Safety orange. Copy that hex. Amber. Copy that hex as well. So it'd be amber. Vivid sky blue. Oops. Vivid sky blue. Then we're going to have deep sky blue. Deep sky blue. Then what's last? Picton blue. Picton blue. And fonts wise, I can't remember if we picked out any fonts. Back to this. Yeah, we've got no mention of this yet. Do we? Oh, we picked, that was it in the code pen that we made. It picked a font. Let me see if there's a thing for Google Fonts with this, with Tailwind. So a search button I can't see. Oh, yeah. I don't think we'll have a serif font, but doesn't matter, I suppose. Okay, that's set. So now it's just a case of starting to mold the clay, as it were. So we can approach this in two ways. We can approach this in a learning from the ground up sort of way, which I think I'll do because it's been a while since I've got myself into writing CSS and I used to love it, so I'll get stuck in and start learning the Tailwind way before I reach for any sort of like templates to speed things up and stuff. So what I'll do is add these. So adding theme config. Suppose we can try now. I haven't taken there's a great course by Jack McDade called Radical Design course. I'm not going to go as far as this, but I do want to look at getting this. Well, I do want to get I want to get this because he's been a long time follower of Jack through this Statamic and all the versions that he's built through that, on Twitter, just everything he's kind of been involved with. I've always been a big fan, and I'd love to get this course. It's a bit pricey, but like I imagine it'd be really, really well worth the cost, because he's built, yeah. He's built just some great websites over the years. He's made a blog for this now. Yep. So I'd want to stretch out a little bit and not just be just kind of like making something very, very boring. But at the beginning, I just want to get a very, very basic layout, because most people are not going to be bothered coming to the site like what things look like and stuff. They just want it to be simple, readable, clean, and I just want to get something up and running so the newsletter can be posted there and I can start making content around that. After that, I probably want to expand it and start creating more, kind of flexing the front end muscles a bit. Not for the sake of it, but just to stand out a little bit more from the crowd. So what I'm looking for here really is in the header, I just want to test that the theme coloring stuff is working. So is there background color? So BG, and then I should be able to get a example one. So class BG dash. What was the color again? Tailwind. So candy apple red. So let's start with theme or candy apple red. So let's see what that does. Yeah, it works. Huzzah. Yeah. So I'm not going to reach for anything yet. I'm just going to keep things open so I'm able to Google stuff when I need to, because I'm not going to know all the, what do you call it? I'm not going to know everything off. I'm not going to be able to figure everything off of the bat. I think everything is fairly unstyled. Everything's kind of like reset. There's a good amount of like resets taking borders and things off and stuff, so that's good. Yeah, there's a general like reset overall. Guessing this comes from Tailwind. Yeah, there is like a global like reset. Good. Don't want things to have that. Ooh, that's interesting. Oh, hi, it's Julie. How you doing? I can see you there. Welcome back again. Hope you're doing well. You have to get some special privilege being the first person, the only person to be on the stream at the beginning. Good to have you back. Did you manage to figure out that? Did you manage to figure that issue last time with? I think you're doing cross references with collections. You managed to figure that out? It's going to be one. So Tailwind's interesting. Tailwind sort of spacing mechanisms work on a scale. So they have like P1. So basically what I want to do is like very, very simple is I just want to create some spacing around the header. I'm just going to make a very, very simple thing for now, like responsively. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. If they all fit to like one line, to be honest, for mobile, they all fit to one line. I'm just going to make them one line. No point overcomplicating it with like burger menus and stuff like that when it's just not needed. But we'll see. If it does come to that with needing to put like a burger menu of some kind, then I'll have to think about it then at that point, and probably look at some Tailwind examples, because I sort of know how to do it in CSS, but I'm not sure like I want to see some examples of how people do it well with responsive styles and stuff like that. No look then, Sachuli. Did you manage to follow the documentation last time with getting the current content piece on the page that you're on, and then using that to cross-reference the to look up the cross-references in the collection? I'm going to try and keep carrying on, but like I'll come back to you here and there and stuff with the comments if I can sort of like help you along a little bit. So P1's a bit small. I think I'll change it to P2, give it a little bit more spacing. Then what we want, so I basically want to lay them out in lines. So I think it's going to be display, flex. I'm not sure. There's no autocomplete happening. Let me have a look. I think it's going to be something simple like layout. It's just going to be like flex, and then you give it the flex attributes. Let me just check I was expecting to see flex here. Oh, flexbox. Flexbox and it's its own thing. Okay. Flex. That's not choosing to display flex though, is it? And then it'll be flex. No wrap. Just want to see what happens with no wrapping at the minute. Yeah. And then it's not that we want to do. We want to put spacing in between them, so I think it's going to be justify center. You have to have them all in the center, and then there must be something for spacing. Unless we give them each a little bit of space in between, but I mean, I don't think it was. I think it was implied, but I'll add flex row anyway, because just be explicit. It would be nice to have prettier in this, actually. Let's check if prettier is not installed. So we go back to documentation here. Get this. Prettier. Cancel that out while it's installing. Pretty sure it finished, so run again. Oh, prettier. Not triple T, just 2 is fine. Hold on a minute, it ain't working. What's going on here? I'm not picking up on this, maybe because it's a .astro file, but let's see. Yep, so we added that. Let's see what the setup is for Astro.js. It's setup. Yep. Prettier. Okay, so prettier is yep. So we need the Astro plugin as well. Okay. Okay. Let's cancel that for a second. See, that's finished. Yep. I've added that. Zod. Nope, ain't picking up. There. Is there like a P-2? Will it format that? Nope, it won't. That's when I went to do format on save. So settings. So on save. Oh, get the light back on. Well, this ain't going well so far, is it? Getting stuck on its config. Hold on. Create configuration file. Formats. Select. Format. Document with. Oh, disabled. Oh, there's a problem with the file. What's wrong with it? Extra commas when not needed, maybe. Something as simple as that. All better. Still a problem. Extra needed comma again, maybe. So just adding some basic classes. And here we're trying to add and configure. So add and configure prettier. Whoops. Push them. Same problem again. Git push. Terminate that. So pretty saying, no, 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 can't do it. Why not? I'll try run this command, see what it does. What's the main differences with these? There's no actual difference with this. That'll make sense. No change. Okay. It's just a preference thing. Don't really mind. That's a preference thing, don't really mind. Single quotes to double quotes. That's all fine, to be honest. So if I open that. Oh, don't want semicolons, yuck. That's better, but I'm not a fan of having a semicolon, but won't cry about it. Hold on. Astro.js prettier on, whoops, on save. So format on save. Format and save is on. Yeah, that's what I want. So format on save mode. Oh, I don't lose too much time on this, but I want to just get it sorted. So I'm just having a look at the behavior of, we've got the plugin installed, so if we run the command, then we can format with the CLI command, but what we can't do is it won't format on saving things. So formatting with VS Code pre-extension directly, you're not using Astro's VS Code extension. No, Astro VS Code extension use prettier, and this plugin to format your code. You only need to install this plugin separately for formatting if you're not using Astro's VS Code extension. You want to use features. The prettier extension not supported by Astro's VS Code extension. It's a toolbar panel showing prettier status. Install the VS Code prettier extension and add the following settings to VS Code config. So no, use this again, formatting with the VS Code prettier extension directly. Install the VS Code Pretty extension. Hold on, let me test something. If I do this, it's not formatting, is it? If I reload the window. I move this. Oops. I move this down. Okay, cool. Everything's formatted consistently now, so I think I've got it working now. Oops, that wasn't everything. Everything formatted consistently. Again, push. So what I might do is add that command. Checked all. We got so that command was oh no, where was it? Oh, was it because it was in the other tab? Let me try and get it back. Yeah. here. So I can do npm prettier. This will format everything. So everything should be unchanged. And we shouldn't really ever need to run that command because as we're saving files, it's auto formatting. But just to check that that's actually working as the way we expect. Yep. The props, so adding prettier command for future. So that's good. Good push. Right, back to where we were. So, trying to get sidetracked again. Side quests. Side quests is the bane of all developers' existence. So that's nice. So they'll be automatically, set apart. So for now, yeah, basically what I want to do is I want to space. It didn't seem to be that there was sort of like a good sort of like spacing tool. Like, I mean, you could just put add. Basis is not what we want really because that's the sizing of things, so we don't really want that. We just want to space things out naturally between. In fact, hold on. What flex basis do we have? So we've got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we've got 4. So how does flex basis work? So basis dash 1 quarter. So let me see if I add it to basis dash 1 slash quarter. What if it makes the children all quarter, but I doubt it. No. Okay, so it needs to go in the children, that's fine. Oops. I understand, lesson learned. Grab that. And then, so I hate doing things twice. Basis maybe isn't what we want because it's collapsing. It's taking a basis of a quarter each. Actually, no, that's okay. That's actually what we want. Quarter, 95, 95, 95, 95. Yeah, I just want them centered in between all that. So is it kind of just do center? Whoops. Center, can I just do that? Some sort of text align. Text, like align. Center, text center. Yeah. Looks a little odd actually. That's what I'm after. Perfect. I do want to keep that text align center, but I don't want to keep these because it looks a little bit weird. So space x2. Yep, that's perfect. So, but I want double that space. It's a little bit tight. About 4. That's a little bit more spread out. That's a little bit better. So I can click newsletters. Whoa, what happened there? Oh, right, okay, it's going to be the width size of images. Just going to be expanding the page, I imagine. You know, I did the edit to all of these. So I click newsletters, page, Astro. Oh, these pages aren't using the layout. Okay. Okie dokies, that's fine. We'll add them. But let's check how many of them are not using the layout thing. So that's got a layout. That's got a layout. 404 page, we're going to do something special with that, so I don't need no layout. 500, that's fine for now. About me, hooray. Newsletter, ain't using it, so let's add that. Whoops. I wish I would order imports. That'll be another thing I have to set up for configuration, is that I much prefer it when it does imports. So that will be all newsletters. Now it's got that one. Projects need the same. All projects. Layout. Whoops. So we're going to add that missing import. Get rid of that because we're not formatting the date anywhere for projects. We don't need to, so just get rid of it. Oh, where'd the layout go? Bingo, that's better. Robots.tsx, come back to you another time. That's all hunky-dory. Yeah, that's better. So projects, about me, now, newsletters. So now it's actually starting to look like something, which is a nice thing. Come back later if you're still there. Good luck. Cheers. Thanks for Julie. Just cracking on. Yeah. If you want to, just thinking, if you're having a bit of trouble and you want a little bit more help, I can try and give you. If you find us on Twitter, if you follow me on Twitter and send us a message, a DM. If you follow me, I'll be able to like receive like DMs. Then if you want to send us a link to your GitHub repository, I can have a look, see if we can fix the issue together. Just help each other out. Appreciate your time. Appreciate you coming on here. Just staying and chilling and watching stuff. So if you're you are still around, cool. But yeah, that's where you can reach. We can help you a little bit better then, rather than me sort of like just sort of try and debug in the dark, as it were, and stuff. So yeah. Right, so we've got, I mean, it's naughty, it ain't pretty, it's not really much of anything at the minute, stuff. But not really too bothered. We're just getting things down. So has everything got the footer? It does, yeah. So let's start putting together the footer in the same way we've kind of done this. And yeah, once everything's kind of like structurally laid out, I'm then going to start putting some color into it and theme and stuff like that. So let's have a looky, and also start looking at things across, because this might be okay. This might be okay for desktop, but it might also look a bit plain. So we might move on from that. Right, let's get footer back. So the footer section, I know I want to kind of, I know I want to there. It's going to have two parts. Going to have this first part with like just all the kind of link up stuff, and then just a miscellaneous sort of sitemap stuff. Any links that don't really kind of deserve to be in the header because they're like unimportant or whatever. The home link, will probably adjust this not to be a picture of me, but something to like indicate home, where it's just like the home button or whatnot, or home emoji. Just keep it simple as that. Where am I going now? Lost my sec. Oh yeah. So I don't think it warrants, a home doesn't warrant having like a button in itself, like anything special. But miscellaneous links that we don't really need to have, like people don't need quick access to, stuff like home again, sitemap, and then other miscellaneous page like privacy policy, stuff like that. If it's applicable for this website, well, I'm not going to kind of deal with that now. We'll deal with that in a different thing. Probably just do that as like side project thing. So we're going to have two sections. So I'm going to kind of make them visually different to stand out with. So we're going to have the footer section. I'm going to have this with P2. I like the spacing on that for mobile, so we'll stick with that. And I'll give it some background just to distinguish it for the meantime. Did I stick with P2 for the header? I did. Yeah. Hold on. We don't really need that if we've got SpaceX, do we? So maybe this needs to be a bit more than that. So P4, maybe space 6. P4. Let's bump it in. We'll give it a color. What was it? Wasn't background? Back. What was it then? Color. Hold on. BG. BG dash. We just want some sort of grey. Let's have a look what. There are a lot of colours available. Actually, pull this up side by side. Only need a slight offset. Maybe 200. Just wondering how Tailwind handles heading sizes because there's nothing applied. So font size. We'll stay on to about past tonight before we get going. There's got to be a better way that does headings, so titles. No, that's not it really. So headings. Heading. Pre-flight headings are unstyled. I think base styles is something I'd want. Oh yes, this is what I'm after. I think we must have some base Tailwind set up somewhere. I can only find where. 9 components, 9 layouts, 9 pages. Constants, maybe we don't. Set up Tailwind typography. Not quite what I was looking for. Tailwind. yeah, we kind of want this really. So apply base styles. It's integrations tailwind. So on that off, we're going to add our own. Just have to include this in each part then. So if I can't remember what the syntax looks like for it. Oh, that would work, but loading for some reason. Nope, no main import. So why is that not the case? Base to CSS. It's in the source folder. Is it because a new file needs to restart? Doesn't know about it. And I'll figure out what's wrong with this. Nope, still no luck. Let me find out what I'm doing wrong here. So I'll look at Simi style one, see if there's anything amiss with this. Okay, so that's how they're handling that. Maybe I might do the same then. It would be nice not to have this CSS file. Come so far without it. And if all this could be handled in Tailwind, then I think that would be much the better. Get rid of that. Don't want that about. I like the configure setup and might steal it. Let's have a look at some of the other ones, see if they got any better sort of configuration files at all. I'm gonna have to set a timer actually so I don't go over. Minutes. We'll call it quits. Okay, apply styles is false. Because you got a main.ts file. Default. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, I might rename constants to config to so it doesn't make sense being called constants. And have stuff like this, yeah. Do we have a config file? But we do for content, but not config. Yeah, that's the only one. Oh, excuse me. Just use the typography plugin in this one. Tailwind. Oops, wrong. That's right. Typography theme dot CSS default. I just have typography. I don't really want to have to be putting on kind of basic styles for yeah, typography when it comes in. Let me have a look at that. Because that just seemed a bit tedious to me. I'm not doing anything incredible with fonts and stuff, so I'm not looking to over customize either. So I think I'll try and use the Tailwind typography plugin just to keep things from being too verbose. Yeah, I'll probably end up using it anyway for things like when we get to like markdown sections as well, so that'd be nice to have. Yep, let's get this. It's quite obvious that we're going to need it, so it's a good plugin. Let's use it. And let's add it to our config. Astro config. Is that right? No, our Tailwind config. So plugin's going to be and then with this example, he's given the Tailwind theme. Doesn't extend, it just goes into typography, so. I think that's where we want to copy to, we'll find out in a second. So don't really want none of that at the minute. Links probably. We'll keep that for now. See what this does. Not really bothered about the dark part, so we'll kind of keep that. Refresh, it shouldn't be there anymore. Yep. We're almost coming to the end of our time now. Let's see if I can get this a little bit wrapped up and working, and then we'll end it for today. I think I might need to look at making my camera small because it's taking up a good portion of the thing. I might even actually have a look at what you call it, how green screen would cope. There's something about that I did not like. I got a feeling because typography is not in the extend. So maybe if it's in here. Section is in section, is in theme. Yeah, theme, extend, typography. Except not liking this part. So maybe we can't do that. Default CSS like that. Ooh. Or maybe, oh, it has to be as required, is it? Page up, page up, page up, page up, page up, page up. Oh, this would be no good if we just broken it just before we end things. What's this problem? Oh. It's just a case of the default CSS colors. Why is it not picking up auto thingy anymore? Default colors, come on. Fix things up. Colors is not defined. Oh, that's my timer. Let me just try and wrap this up before we end. That's better. Colors is not defined. Line 25. I don't think that's the best one to look at, so look at this one. Look at these, see if we can get anything useful out of them. Plugins. If it's this part that's a bit of a trouble. I just put color black. That shouldn't be a thing that's missing, but it is. Theme extend typography default. Yep, solve as well. CSS. A. Gonna give us a little bit more to go off. Nope. Astro, nope. Let's see. Where is typography? Yep, we've got that. Recipe. So it's not giving much to go off really, is it? So let me have a look at this. Yeah. I have to call it out in a minute because I'm going to get stuck into this way too deep and be enthralled in it. I can't have that. Theme colors. Yeah, okay. Move it back to a function. Theme. I don't think it was the function that was the problem. It was mainly the, yeah. So this is going to become yoing. Whoops. This and this. This and this and this are all going to be wrapped in quotes. Oops, maybe I should do it the other way. Brackets, quotes. And that's going to be the theme function with that passed. See if this fixes the issue. It does. Huzzah! So I don't think it's quite doing what I was expecting, but let me check. Sure, if that works, that'll be very noticeable, but it isn't. So what's wrong with that? I think that'll be a job for next time. So let's move that to, oops, not like that. Like that. I think we've kind of gotten all that we can so far. There's a little bit of a work in progress, but that's fine. Got rid of most of the errors. So let's just wrap things up and then we'll be off. Stop this running. So if we got, yeah, just me adding a bunch of stuff. Starting to style things a little bit. Yep. Adding the layout. Installing a bunch of Tailwind stuff, typography, stuff like that. So it's going to be a work in progress. So git commit. So adding a Tailwind typography plugin. It's a work in progress and making making sure all pages are using layouts. Push. I think that'll about do it. So we're getting there. We're getting there. There's going to be parts we're not always going to finish up in one go and stuff. So like we'll get there. All right, let's get this back to here. So I don't think there is anybody on anymore, but if you're coming back in from future, so truly really appreciate you coming on. Hope you managed to solve that issue. If not, send us follow us on Twitter, send us a DM, send us a link to a public GitHub repo. I can have a look and try and either create a pull request for you to sort of show you where the issue is, or can just DM you the changes that you sort of like need to make and just diagnose it. But yeah, so I guess that's it for today. There's going to be a few streams this week because I want to just try and get this site build out of the way. So there's going to be another stream on Wednesday. Let me check the Thursday. Maybe Thursday as well, but I'll confirm that on the Wednesday stream. But there'll definitely be a stream on Wednesday night. So on that, we'll just be carrying on with theming and like starting to make things look pretty, basically. So signing off. Thanks very much.